Ahoy there, my mateys. My name is Champ, ethnic curiosity and Wyoming enthusiast. How are ya? My mateys, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Or, well, the bison in the room. I'm not an American. I don't live in Wyoming. I've never stepped foot in Wyoming. But darn do I wish I could step foot in Wyoming. I'm simply someone who has an affinity for its nature, its wackiness, and boringness. It's literally just a tree and a rock. Funnily enough, if I ever did want to go to the United States, I only want to go to 2 states, Wyoming and North Dakota, in that order specifically. Before we get to the nitty-gritty, let's have some fun. For you viewers at home, take a shot of water every time I say the word Wyoming. Starting now. Wyoming. Let's start with a few Wyoming trivia questions. Count your scores, fellas. Winners get a prize at the end of the video. Alright, let's get this show on the road. Are you ready for the first question? I don't think you are. What is the capital of Wyoming? The letter C stands for correct, my friends. That's 1 star for you. Let's keep it down here. Which one of these is the flag of Wyoming? That's right, it is A. How did you know? Are you cheating? You better not be or I'll kill ya. What is the first state nickname of Wyoming? I hear some of you clickety-clacking at your keyboards, so I offer this 3rd star. We'll talk about this later, superstar. How many escalators are there in the entire state of Wyoming? 2B or not 2B? Yep, there's only 2 escalators in the entire state of Wyoming. Here's a picture. How many malls are there in Wyoming? That's right, not counting the now closed Kohl Shopping Center, there are 3 malls located in Cheyenne, Casper, and Rock Springs, Wyoming. You got all 5 stars. I know you didn't actually, but thank you for participating anyway. Comment down below your favorite brand of soda to cash in your gold stars for a song recommendation. My mateys, I've been fixated on Wyoming since 2021 and I've slowly but surely learned bits and pieces about this state so that I could incorporate whatever I can into my little comics. The little world I made for me and my friends takes place in Slough Creek, obviously taking inspiration from Slough Creek, a tributary that can be found in Wyoming and parts of Montana. But we're not here to talk about my version of Wyoming, we're here to talk about the actual Wyoming. The boring, windy, rural, empty Wyoming. And I'm not joking when I say that it's empty. Let's compare its largest city, Cheyenne, to another large city from a state with a comparable size to Wyoming, Portland in Oregon. As you can see, Portland's 635,749 to Cheyenne's 65,187 is laughable. If a brawl between the 2 cities were to happen, one Wyomingite would have to fight 10 Oregonians. Doesn't seem fair, does it? But it does put into perspective how empty this place is. If you still remember, we went over how Wyoming only has 2 escalators and all of its 253,335 square kilometers. This is what the capital looks like. For comparison, this is what Boise looks like. Don't be too harsh on Cheyenne though. It has 2 Walmarts. It's basically a metropolis compared to Cody. So you see why this state only needs 2 escalators? Shouldn't be too hard to tell. There's all this barren wasteland to build on, so why bother building up? Now here's a question. Would I ever live in Wyoming? Short answer, no. Long answer, no! My mateys, this might come as a surprise, but Wyoming is the reddest state there is. The last time they ever voted blue was for Lyndon, and that's nothing! Lest you forget the Republican nominee was Goldwater, who famously opposed the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which outlaws discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, and national origin. He also wanted to escalate the Vietnam War. Okay, well, to be fair to him, he also supported gay rights, abortion rights, and the legalization of marijuana, which for an extremist Republican is insane. He basically said, I don't want no goddamn Italians in my store, but if a gay couple wanted to get married and have children, that's okay. And also women deserve rights, just not too much. Did he actually say that? Of course not. Don't be ridiculous. I'm being hyperbolic. But speaking of women's rights, let's talk about what Wyoming got right. Which is not a lot, really. It's a state that has had a lot of firsts. First state to grant women's suffrage, which means this is also home to the first female governor, and the first national park, and the first national monument, and the first dude ranch. For the 19th century, it was pretty progressive, but that's it. They've peaked in the 19th century. They haven't really progressed after that, and for a state that's known as the equality state, they have some of the worst equality issues. A 2022 analysis ranks Wyoming the 45th out of the 50 states for gender equality. Women in Wyoming have one of the largest wage gaps in the entire United States, not to mention the high maternity mortality rate and limited access to birth control. And that's just for women. Let's not even talk about the guys. That brings us to the question, why is it that this state, with a whole lot of firsts and a whole lot of nothing, is the first to grant women suffrage? Heck, it was established in July of 1868, and it granted women suffrage in December of 1869. Compare that to New York being established in 1624 and granting women suffrage in 1893. It might seem a bit strange, a nowhere state speedrunning civil rights, especially when you consider that the populace at the time consisted of frontiersmen. Actually, it doesn't seem that strange now, does it, when you consider that the populace of Wyoming consisted only of frontiersmen? What sane woman would want to go out into the whoop-whoops where nothing existed and Native Americans were still spatting with the local settlers? I'll also have you note that the Civil War ended just 4 years before the Wyoming territories were established. Obviously, no fine lady back then was willing to give up the comforts and safeties of the cities to live in the middle of nowhere. Not unless... That's right. I'm saying that the only reason Wyoming is the first state to grant women suffrage is because of Exhibit A, Exhibit B, and Exhibit C. Sausage, sausage, sausage. This state was a sausage fest. French trappers were so desperate for a woman, they saw these and saw bazonkers. This state was so bad, they had to pull out the big guns and grant women suffrage before they even became a proper state, just so women would actually want to live in Wyoming. Ahoy hoy. You made it to the end of the video. I know that this is sort of a nothing about, but I just really wanted to talk about Wyoming. I had a community post saying that whoever guessed what this video was going to be about would get a prize, and well, my good friend Steve, or as you know him, Cuckoo456, got it. Oh, by the way, you can post on my community page. Like, yeah, you can post on it. And also I have a Blue Sky, so if you ever do want to follow me and, check me out, follow me in Blue Sky. So, first of all, I would like to apologize for slowing down on my uploads. I've been really busy. I'm in my graduating year of university. I've been working on my research paper, and I'm also responsible for the pinning ceremony of the graduating students, which is me. And, yeah, I've also been working on my internship, so that's taken quite a lot of time. I'd just like to say thank you for sticking around. I find making and editing these videos to be a comfort, and I do enjoy reading your guys' comments, even if some of them can be a bit nonsensical. But yeah, feel free to ask me anything, Bye-bye. Well, men like me probably die alone with some broken dream on a dusty road, and it may be sad, but so is everything that's true. But if life's a gamble, then you bet the table on a pair of twos, and the sun is probably shining